Hey, mi gente, thank you again for tuning in. We're in one more episode here at Five Stars Realty Podcast. And today I have the pleasure to interview a powerhouse owner of Your Home Realty here in Connecticut, Jamila Caceres Rano. Welcome to the
Thank you for having me, Camila.
Thank you for making the trip to our podcast today. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Welcome. And I'm going to be giving you a series of questions, okay? Um, to get to know you, for our audience to get to know you and everyone else, okay? So I did a little investigation, as I said to you.
Wow, you did. Well, you sure you didn't call my husband? He's a private investigator, so I'm used to it. Give it to me. All right.
Yeah, you're used to these questions.
Yes, yeah, okay.
So I find out that you were a therapist and also a social worker prior to becoming or prior to joining the real estate world. What made you do that change from social worker, therapist to real estate?
Well, I would say that therapy and social will always be in my heart, but I worked with the Department of Children and Families. It's a state, and you know what? It wasn't for me. I loved it and I liked it, and I love working with children and families, but my brother was in this business. He's like, "Hey, get your license." And I was like, "Okay," just to do it. And then I started it and with clients, and guess what? It kind of expanded. And it was like I got a lot of clients, because in the social work, everyone's buying, you start talking about real estate. Oh, yeah, I got my license and everything. And then I got busy.
So when did you start it?
1999.
1999.
1990. I guess I know. I was very young, and it was a different adventure. I would say it was not like now. It's not like now. And yeah, he was like, get your license. So I did. And I, followed him around, and he had his own real estate company. And then it was the point where, you know, I wasn't happy with what I was doing, meaning like, like you were saying, social work and therapy, you think it of a different way. And it wasn't what. So I decided to take the leap and do full time. And I was my brother's assistant.
Oh, so it started within the family.
Oh, yes. Yes, it did.
Beautiful.
100%.
A little guidance, you know. Why not a little? Because he already had a huge guidance, right?
He was my broker when I bought a house. He was my mentor. So I was like, if I really want to do this, then I have to commit and I have to see what he does and how this business runs. And at that time, just so you know, there was not a lot of Latino brokers or realtors. Well, there was only about 3, and he had them.
In Connecticut?
Connecticut, correct.
No, I always been in Connecticut.
It is always in Connecticut. We were actually in Hartford County and Charter Oak Avenue. And he kind of like he was actually the first Latino broker. He was.
That's amazing. Kudos to your brother. What's his name?
Cesar.
Cesar. Kudos to you.
Kudos, Cesar. So then like he was like, yeah, like, about the Latino community. So I was like, okay, I'm so for that. Absolutely, 100%. But I didn't think that it would be whoa, like what it is. Yes, where it is, because we were like the only ones.
That's amazing.
As we were the only one.
What an honor.
It is. It is such an honor. And we worked a lot with the community. So at that point, and my father was already involved in the community too. So it was just like happened all at once. It was just like, okay, I left working as a therapist. Not that I didn't love it, because I did go back and I will always be a part of that. But it's still working with people and children and families. Same thing. For me, it is the same thing. I would never, it's to make people happy. It's great. It's just great.
It's beautiful how you can connect one career to another and how they are linked up somehow, you know? You mentioned that it wasn't like before, right? Today's market, it wasn't like before.
No, was it?
You have 20 plus years of experience. What have you seen? What's the biggest chance in Connecticut's market that you see in today's day compared to before?
Market in what? Buying and selling, or the real estate agents?
The real estate agent, everything that you do, because you're a broker, you're a realtor, right? What has been the biggest change that you have seen without, with all your experience, right? What has something that you've been like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like,
Well, number one, we didn't have lead generation. Okay. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, oh my God, my broker has to do me a lead. Like, that did not exist. Okay. First, we didn't have none of this fancy like east side and stuff. When we wanted to get an offer in, guess what? We at 9 o'clock at night, you'd meet that client and meet that agent, meet the client, sign it, facts, or you give it personally to the agent. Yes, facts. Okay, I'm taking it way back. Facts. I'm taking it back. Okay, so that's how far back. And also, there was no east side. There was our contracts were. Okay, carbon copy. Can I say that? When there was carbon copy, where there was like the white, the and the yellow.
3 pages, right?
Yes. Okay, I'm taking it way back. Okay, but I'm also aging myself at that point, so let's just not go there. So I can remember, and I had like all our docs in the car. It was always like, oh, go, go, go. Like even now, but I want to say the biggest change for me, like I said, I talked about lead generation, but it was, and it's still the same for me because I'm 98% referral. I don't do any lead generation at all. At all. My clients comes from everyone. Like I love them, honest, and we give a heart because without them, I wouldn't have my success. But that's what the new agents expect. They want it. And to me, I'm more personal. So for me, that's why I said I see that change. So you get a new agent, they're like, what are you going to give me? But I never said that to my brother. You probably look at me and like, I don't know, God, like crazy, like seriously. So it was more like he had deals. We worked together. We worked as a team. There was no teams back then too, as well. Just so you know, there was piloting. A lot of teams like eso no existe. That does not exist back in the day.
So you run solo.
Yeah, you run solo, but like at that, I had to learn. Okay, so to learn, how do you learn? So I had to follow him like all over the place and figure it out. And like, oh my gosh, and we have so many legal contracts. So you have to learn that. I feel like you can't learn that from class school,
No.
like taking a class, a course. You have to follow.
Hands on.
Yes, hands on. And that was one thing I wanted to learn. And I also taught too for my brother's business, those classes as to teach them. So for me, that is the importance. So I see a lot of agents, they come out of school, they're like, and I've been in the classes because I had to take extra 20 credit courses, and I hear them and they're like, I just got into this because, it's so cool. I see Netflix, start selling Sunset, blah, 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 and it's like, first of all, it's not like, calm down. Calm down. We're not wearing red bottoms doing showings. I'm in the attic. I'm literally looking for mold. So that is the difference. I think everyone has the expectation that it's very easy. Your first couple years is hustle, hustle, hustle. And really, like when you have a client, you're there to nurture and you're there to help them. This is the biggest investment of your lifetime. And you know what? I feel that is the difference. Like when we started, it was like our community knew that. That's what we were here for. And not only that, remember, we speak 2 languages. So the contracts are in English. So a lot of times you hear, was one of our house and they just told me to sign. We have to
translate.
Yes.
Wow.
5 pages. Yes, of a contract. So that is another thing. You have to know your contract. A lot of these agents don't know that, and I'm sorry. And also the team leaders, they're not brokers. They're just agents. And that's another thing. I'm very lucky. I learned on hands and I learned a lot. And you have to do that. If you want it, it can't just be like part-timecito, like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna be in the office one, a little while. No, it's like you jump all in and you do it and you figure it out. Some things you figure out on the way, but I just feel like it's like the misconception of real estate, right, is the out there where, the shows and stuff. And a lot of the young generation, and I'm sorry, I'm not young anymore, but I mean, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be 50 in June. Okay. So let me tell you, it's been a long way when I started at 22. So I'm just going to say at a young age, it is very hard to be a woman. Number one, because you have to show and prove yourself. And let's just say, you do have to know things about inspections, your contracts, because that's where they gain that trust and confidence. And I feel like a lot of the younger, they want it fast. This does not come fast. Like when I opened up my brokerage firm 6 years ago, I had to hustle and put myself out there. Put yourself out there and relearn things, whether it's, whether it's contracts, whether it's new documents, whether it's, e-sign, which was very hard for me, because I was like, everything was, by hand. So I feel like this generation, even though we're tech savvy, the social skills are different. Very different.
So
Very.
you would say the tools that were used back then. I think it was a lot quicker, believe it or not, right? Now everything through computers and phones and softwares makes it a lot difficult also for the clients that are not tech savvy.
Oh, right. 100%.
And you have mentioned the contracts back then obviously were in English. So obviously you're bilingual in English and Spanish. How has that helped you to connect with your community and serve a broader range of clients? Do you have I believe that you have both of the best worlds, right?
Damn. I am the luckiest because I get Spanish, English, but yes, 98% I would say of my clients are bilingual. They are.
And people, when I was investigating this beautiful, powerful woman, thank you, I would have never imagined she speaks Spanish. She told us to a little secret. Her father is from Peru, and her mom from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Give some hearts. A lot of hearts.
Yeah.
She was straight Italian.
And everybody asks me, and it's funny. That's one of the things they do ask me. They ask me, what are you? And I'm like, I'm human. That's what I am. I am, but, we joke about it. I am human being, because they don't know. They're confused of what I am. And you see my whole mom's side of the family, we are a cluster of beautiful, different shades. We're just, but I bring it in because they don't know, they're unsure. But when I am able to sit down and meet with them in my office, is like awkward, but they do investigate and they see my snob and they know I see Santa.
Everything is out there now.
It's out there.
And we were talking a little bit behind
I'll be.
the scenes.
Oh, yes.
You're very transparent. I love your social media. I gotta say, I told Jerma, I said, okay, who am I interviewing? And please have her socials. And I was just in love because coming from marketing, I am a marketing specialist. And I said, you know, if people knew the power of social media, and I just love how authentic you are in your videos. You guys gotta watch this video where she's kidnapped.
I was kidnapped and I still was selling. That's all I'm going to say. Till the end, I was still selling. No, even getting kicked out of the car, I'm going to sell. And I was trying hard to get my car too. At the same time, I was trying, even tied up. But you know what? That's the thing is it's so important in this business to be transparent. And the reason why I say that is because we were talking before, when you meet a client, it is so difficult. Like, you could be like the shows and super fancy and all that stuff, but they really want you to be real, like authentic, and they really
I say organic.
yes, I mean, they want you to be you, you know what I mean? So it's like they get you, and when you're sitting down, and that's where the Spanish comes in, the comfort level, but they know whether or not whether they're going to hire you or not. And like I said, mine is based on referral, and I love my clients because they'll say it. They're like, they'll be at a barbecue, they'll be somewhere, and they'll be like, oh, I'm looking for a house. No, con Jamila. They're like, Jamila. And there's only one Jamila real estate, just so you know. There's only one of me. There's only one of me. So guess what? I'll be more authentic than that. Exactly. So there's only one of me. So it's like, they're my marketing for me. But you're right. Social media has become the biggest, I would say, for marketing yourself. And that's what they want. So if I'm going to be real, like I am on my Instagram, they get what they get and they laugh and they're like, you know what? Humor is so good when a stressful situation, whatever it is, but they see who I am and that's who they get.
That is kidding. Because a lot of people are not so comfortable in Canada. And I have a lot of clients that obviously they hire me. They hire my firm because they just can't process a thought in front of a camera. Even by themselves, with people, with teleprompt, they just can't. How does that how does the fear in camera just you shake it off? Like
It's a big fear. I was like, I get if you see my TikToks, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, your story's so long. She sounds like the girl from Friends." They pick on you. You have to in this business of real estate. I got thick skin. So you know what? And even doing what I did in the past, working for the department. I mean, you really have to have thick skin. I mean, I was super. How am I going to do this? How am I going for the camera? And you know what? You just bite the bullet, do it, and just do it. I mean, what's the worst thing you're gonna do? Like, let them get likes. Yeah, like I'm like, for me, I was like, okay, I didn't get a lot of likes on that one, so you don't move on. I mean, you can't take it personal, and if you're able to work with clients and speak, and why can't you do it? It's a video, and it's trial and error for me. You know how many takes I take to do my dance stuff and all that stuff. Like, you think my daughter's friends are like, "Oh, look what your mom did," and I'm like, "I don't care. I know how to do that dance," like, and I don't care. You have to have like kind of I don't care attitude. What people think about you.
it's the mentality.
Yes, it's all in here, and I feel like, yeah, put myself out there. That's no better than marketing yourself, and people like you.
I love it.
I mean, you
You're
can't.
taking advantage of something that is really free. I mean, if you want to boost it up, you can, but the tools are there, right? To use them.
All you do is hit click and you do it, and there go. Go, or you do a song. Like, I even get my photographer to do TikToks. I'm like, let's go. When we're doing shooting listings, I'm like, come on, let's go. We need to do one.
That shows how humans you guys are, how warm.
Yes.
I think that somebody that shows themselves truly how they are in social media, it gives me a better reference than just reading an article about them. I'm seeing you in action. I'm seeing you being kidnapped and you're still cussing, selling like kidnapper. You're at home. Listen, like that's somebody I want to work with. She's a hustler.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I did one the other day, like putting a lamp in my car that was the last, and I'm like, listen, we do what we need to do. I'm cleaning the house, I'm figuring it out, I'm staging. That is part of everything you do in real estate. But, everyone makes it sound like all we do is open doors. I even did one like that. We don't just open doors, we do more than that. So it's so important to put that out there. Because you can say it in an article and you can pose and you could be like, yes, and like I said, that's just not me. Yeah, I do that when I don't have time, but like, I mean, I'm just not gonna pose and be like, yeah, I've got like blah blah blah. Like, I don't care about that, and also too, don't come at me with how many closings you have a year, because I'm not into that. So like, I'm not.
We don't count them.
We don't see then. It to me, no, I talk about quality, sweetheart. So and I've had that thrown at me too by agents that have many years experience, and you know what? That doesn't matter.
It's a good word. Quality. It's not about quantity. It's about quality, my people.
I tell that all the time. I said, when people ask me, "Oh, how many closings and how much you make?" I'm like, I don't know, and I don't care. I care about the quality.
Doing it right.
Yes, because you know what? That makes a difference in your client for you. Really know. They know, and let me tell you, they'll tell you, they're like, Jamila, like, I have had past realtors, and I was like, I know, and they'll tell me who it is, and I'm like, I know. I was like, I know, I've been in business for a while, so I know, and we can't say that. I'm like, you know what? I was like, and then they come with me like, their mom was like, whoa, like, this one is different, like, real different. And I'm like, it is what it is. You get what you got with me. That's just how it is, I didn't look her up in social media. Yeah, you get what you get. You don't laugh a lot. That's what I tell my clients, you're gonna laugh a lot with me because I make it fun.
It's a stressful process. I remember buying my first home with my brother, and I remember being so overwhelmed with piles of paperwork. And I just didn't know at the time, our, what was our attorney? She was like, blah, 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 sign here, but like no explanation whatsoever. And I can only imagine what people go through and what you have to see all the time in closings. People are so confused. I feel so confused, but I was just signing. I'm like, okay, I'm getting my first home. I'm just signing here. Then a couple of years later, I'm like, oh, and that's what I signed. Oh, and that's a mortgage percentage, stuff like that that you don't know. And I was what? I was 25. I was 25, 24. And my brother is 4 years younger than me. So he was like,
Wow.
he was trusting me that we were doing it right. Your elder. Thankfully, we still have the house.
She's like, I don't know what I saw. But we have the house. Oh, we have the house.
It's so important. And now, this is something that I really stress out is information in Spanish. The information in Spanish is key because yes, I kind of grew up here. I was here since I was 12 years old. Not really too young, not too old, but I don't know the law. I don't know this certain stuff, you know? So having somebody that speaks both languages is so important. If you don't feel comfortable and you not understand it, get yourself somebody that is gonna get you through the process in a less stressful manner because it was stressful for us. Now, let me ask you one more thing. Your home realty. Yep. Any plans to expand?
I get that asked a lot. Um, what I truly want is real agents.
Right.
I don't want agents just to have agents. Been there, done that, seen it with my own eyes. You can have 100 agents, but what is the quality of those agents? And can you actually do as a broker, manage that and know what they're doing? That is your name out there. That's my name. They're licensed underneath my name.
Yes.
So that is important to me. My name carries a lot. So they don't know Your Home Realty. You can ask my clients what my company name is, and they don't know it.
Do you train the agents that come in on board? Do you?
I'm going to say I try. The problem is you have to want to learn, and that's the problem. Right now, everybody wants it fast. It takes time. So you know what? I think like I don't want to say like my generation, but like when I started, I wanted to learn this. And it wasn't like now you watch a thing on the screen, da da da. Like I'm more on hands, like you said, like watching and everything else. I would love that. But I want agents that want it, not given to them. That's the difference. Nothing is given to you. No one's here like, here, give me a lead, here. No, like I went out there. I built my website. I designed my logo. I did everything myself. I didn't hire anybody. Like even my signs, everything I've done, I've built myself. So that's the thing. You have to build your business. This is not the only business I've had and also run. So when you start from a business, you have to put yourself out there and you also have to be customer oriented. That's what my expectation is of an agent that works under me. I have had agents and they have failed, meaning my expectation. So my expectation is very high because unfortunately, I've seen the consequences of having a bad agent, and that can ruin your business. So saying that's what I do not want. I work too hard for my name in this business to have an agent ruin that for me. So that's why I don't think big like that. I think I'd rather have a strong crew. And it's very hard. This business is very competitive. This business, there's a lot of competition. There is a lot, but you know,
It seems like it's more and more as it keeps growing, you know?
but you know what? Competition's good because you know what? When you stand out, they know. You stand out for a reason. And you know what? They bring it on. You know what? I've been through me and a lot of brokers, we talk about it every day. How do we still stay in the business? Again, my referrals, my clients. They're the ones that bring me the success that I have.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's wrap it up
Okay.
with something fun.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I'm going to hit you with a few rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay. Just say the first thing that comes to you.
Boy. Really? I don't know.
Ready? Be
Censored. I think I'm gonna have to be censored. I think I have to be censored. That's one thing about me. I have to be censored.
All right. What's your favorite room in a house?
Room?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Boom. What's your
I would say my bedroom.
bedroom? Awesome. Dream vacation destination.
Oh, I've been to a lot. You know, I don't even I have one, but you know what? Honestly, I would really like to go to Greece.
To Greece. Me too. Yeah. One word that describes your approach to real estate. One word.
One word? Oh gosh. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Authenticity.
I would say, you know what? I get a lot passionate.
Passionate. Yes. Yeah. And I was just going to say, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
For bringing this energy and passion because this woman is passionate. about what she does and what she believes in. Thank you for taking the time, for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
Jamila, tell us, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me. My social in Instagram and in TikTok is Jamila, Jamila _CT Realtor, and Your Home Realty. But it's my website's yourhomect.com. I'm on Facebook with Jamila Caceres and Your Home Realty CT.
Thank you. Thank you so much, people. Thank you for tuning in one more time. Five Stars Realty Podcast. This is Camila, your social media coach, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao. Bye.